That's fascinating.
It's really, really helpful because your brain's really naughty. And if you say to your
Totally.
brain, "Don't think about this thing, don't think about this
Mm,
thing," what does your brain do? It'll absolutely turbo think of that
yeah.
thing. Yeah, this is a really important question, and it's something I get asked all the
Mm,
time. And to be honest, we don't know for
mm,
sure why people will, work at 2 a.m. every morning or 3 a.m., but there are a lot of theories, and I'll just go through some of them. So, typically busy people, knowledge workers who've got a lot on their plate, you do accumulate a lot of really important high stakes
mm.
thoughts and decisions you've got to make. And we don't always have enough time to deeply think about them. So we'll sort of bank it. And so we'll fall asleep exhausted. And then, as you know, the REM component of your sleep architecture is where you consolidate memories, it's where you make sense of your emotional world. And I also think that people don't understand that the REM part of your sleep has a very important forgetting function as well. I call it the defrag part of the sleep
Mm.
architecture. So it's basically when your brain says, okay, do I keep, delete? Do I file that away? Do I, is that important? What box inside my head do I compartmentalize that thought? And so when you're in that REM sleep, sometimes these decisions are so important that it'll actually wake you up. So then you can consciously, using your prefrontal cortex, decide about this. Where does this thought get filed?
Mm.
And so a really good antidote for that is brain dumping, is where you name to tame. So have a pad beside your bed with a pen, and then you brain dump all of the things that's been
Mm.
cogitating on during the day. And I find what's even more helpful is that you have dot points and say, okay, decide whether or not to hire this person or to change jobs. And what you do beside that point, you actually put a time. And so you almost have like a worry hour the next day. So you say, okay, at 10:15, I will think about that topic. Then you put the next topic. Okay, at 10:35, I will think about that
Mm.
topic. And so by adding the time to that list, it really does placate that sort of anxious part of your brain that really needs to disentangle these thoughts. And I just think,
That's fascinating.
it's really, really helpful because your brain's really naughty. And if you say to your
Totally.
brain, don't think about this thing, don't think about this
Mm.
thing, what does your brain do? It'll absolutely turbo think of that
Yeah.
thing. So what you're doing is just placating that kind of anxious part of your brain that wants to sort this stuff out.
Mm.
And at 3 in the morning, it's quiet. It knows that there's no other distractions except you and your mind. So that's why it'll say, wake up, wake up. But there is other theories, and this is something that I'm utterly fascinated in, and something we're doing research in, is the impact of your gut biome
Mm.
on sleep. So we know that inside your digestive tract, you've got around about 2.5 kilograms of gut biome. I don't know if you can translate that into pounds. What is 2.5 kilograms? It's a lot. You've got like hundreds of millions of different types of
Mm.
microbes in your digestive
Yeah, it's
tract. And
5.5 pounds.
it's a
That's
lot
a
just to
lot.
think of that.
That's like crazy.
And so we know that they also exhibit diurnal fluctuations.
Mm.
And so these things
Circadian
want to get
rhythm
fed.
to
Yes,
those, yeah. Mhm.
they really do. And they are hungry little
Mm.
critters. And so if you're going before bed eating a lot of simple carbohydrates, a lot of sugars, what you're doing is you're feeding, a lot of those certain types of these gut biome, and it's like giving them junk food fairy floss. It's
Mm.
like they're getting food for free because they can digest these sugars very, very quickly, and so they will proliferate, and they have quite short, quick reproductive
Mhm.
cycles, and so you get this proliferation of gut biome. And there is some theories that they will send out bioidentical hormones as human hunger hormones, and that is what's waking you up. And
Wow.
so, people often will get up and be really starving hungry
Mm,
and they'll want to go and eat. I call these false hungers. So
mm,
don't always believe your hunger, because if you've got an overactive or, proliferation of, certain types of gut biome, you will be hungrier.
mm,
And then there's a theory that this will actually wake you up.
mm,
And so I really strongly advise, don't have a lot of sugar before bed. More to the point that, sugar is like putting fire in the furnace, and it will increase your metabolic basal rate, like
mm,
throughout the night.
mm.
You'll get a higher resting heart rate
Right.
if you're literally feeding your body with sugar. And so, yeah, so
What's the relationship to cortisol? I kind of go back to that. Like if you're eating sugar and basically you're asking your, body to digest that, that's going to make you stressed, right? Is it the cortisol that wakes you up, or is it the like what do you think mechanistically is happening there?
well, you know what cortisol is? It's actually just the hormone that releases the energy that you need to fight or flight.
Right.
So it helps release glycogen from the liver. So it literally is a signal to your body to drop as much, fuel into your bloodstream so you can run.
Right.
And so if you've got high levels of cortisol, your body's thinking, I need to dump all of this sugar into the bloodstream for your big muscle groups, if your heart and your lungs, to fight or flight.